it just feels like a lot. There's a lot going on in the world. Maybe I'm just jacked up on green tea. Too much caffeine.
I've been drinking green tea all day.
With ginger. It's very exciting.
The fourth quarter is always banana pants for film critics because there's so many movies opening, many of which won't probably open in most of the country or even on a wide scale in New York and LA until after the new year. But they got that deadline. They got to get them in for Academy consideration and all that stuff. So all that's happening. And, try being a Christmas movie expert at this time of the year. It also gets kind of busy.
It's prime time, which is why it is so helpful and convenient, Alonso, that you and I can meet like this over Riverside. I'd love to see you in person, but until we can do that, it's a really convenient way for us to talk. If you guys need to have any kind of work meetings or like quick hello with family over the holidays, or you have a podcast of your own or a YouTube channel of your own, it's been so much fun for us to use Riverside. And with our little discount, you get 15% off using Breakfast 15. So go check them out. I'm really glad that I did. Yes. So news and the ways that we connect with each other has been on my mind a lot lately because of Twitter and because of the myriad ways in which Elon Musk is fucking it up in real time right before our very eyes.
Yes. He's such a genius. He's such a brilliant billionaire. Christy, how dare you question any of his decisions?
He's like the world's most overgrown baby man-child troll meme sender. Like everything is a stupid meme with like frowny faces. You don't like my $8. I'm going to charge you for a blue check mark. Can we talk about the blue check mark thing for a second? Because it's so insane. It's like the most bizarre business model. Like, okay, I'm going to charge you to verify your own identity. This thing that belongs to you, I'm going to extort you for $8. Like, take my blue check mark. Like, who's going to impersonate me? But it's just craziness. Like, who's going to do that? Like, how douchey do you look if you fork over $8 a month to say that you are who you say you are?
No, it all gets dumber and dumber. The blue check, people make such a big deal about the blue check and, the blue check elite. It's like, no, it's a thing that they established so that people could, who are in the public sphere you could ascertain that was really who you were talking to and not, having Keanu Reeves send you a DM that says, hey, I'm stuck in London and I need $1,000,
Wait, that wasn't Keanu Reeves who DM'd me?
Oh, Christy, I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought we had a thing going.
Shoot. But yeah, so now they're going to charge it, but also make it available to everybody, which I don't know. And the thing is, like, that's just today. Tomorrow they could come up with something entirely different and totally change their mind. Because a couple of days ago it was $20 until Stephen King put him on blast, and then it became $8. Like, I don't know.
And then they had massive layoffs today, did they not? I know there was the warning going out.
Yes, and they're being sued because apparently you have to give people like 60 days notice, and they just like dropped the hammer on this. And a lot of the people who are laid off are thrilled to be laid off because apparently the working conditions there have gotten so terrible so quickly. And among the people they've laid off apparently are the sort of standards and practices, whoever people. I retweeted somebody this morning who said, well, it took the new team less than 1 minute to decide that like Shut It Jew was not a violation of their terms of services. So that's what we're looking at with the new improved Twitter.
Well, that's the thing, is that this whole absolutism about what constitutes free speech is such a false argument, right?
Yes.
Like, it should be free speech for everyone all the time. It's like, yeah, that's an amazing idea, but people say horrific, hurtful things, and some of it's hate speech, and some of it is violent, and some of it's the threat of violence, and like there has to be parameters to that. Again, to go back to our journalism days, you can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater, right?
Exactly. And you don't have to tolerate intolerance, like it's all embarrassing. And I have not bailed on Twitter, but I certainly think about it a lot when and I think at some point, if things don't stabilize, if they just get worse and worse, then I might have to, which would suck because that's where I have my largest social media following, and I have this show and other things like it to promote. Well,
I just think I was talking to Jen Chaney at Vulture about this today. Like, we've made friends over Twitter.
Sure.
We've met people we would never meet and have like really nice relationships. Like, I never met them in person, but they feel like friends. And so they're colleagues and whatnot. So I have not left either. Question mark. Anyway, that's happening. The Avatar trailer is out. For real this time.
I know you think I'm crazy.
Those big rocks.
But I feel her.
What was the thing that we went and saw, you and me and Nick, at like 5:30 in the afternoon one day? What was that?
That felt like a scene from, like, that was not edited like a trailer in any way. It was literally just like a segment. You know, they showed us a 3-minute segment of Avatar 2. So now we have an actual trailer. Okay.
There's an actual trailer out.
Oh, no. What we went to see is a teaser. I forgot about that. Yes, we went to a theater to see the teaser.
We went to a theater to see the teaser. And then if you went and saw Avatar's 4K re-release, there was a scene afterward. But this is like a trailer. Anyway, when a whole full Avatar, The Way of Water movie comes out, you and I will review it.
Absolutely.
Eventually. Some casting news for you. Apparently, Aubrey Plaza is going to be in this Agatha Coven of Chaos show on Disney Plus. We don't know who she's playing yet, but does it not dangle the possibility of an Ingrid Goes West reunion if Elizabeth Olsen shows up?
Ooh, I hadn't even thought about that. That's
my
delicious.
First thought. That's the very first thought I thought. Wouldn't that be fun? Like, can Wanda come back?
You had me at Aubrey Plaza in the Agatha spinoff. I didn't need any extra filigree, but now that you mention it, I love that.
Can they go back to Joshua Tree and take selfies? I look forward to that day. So that's happening. And then also Joe Locke from Heartstopper apparently is going to be on this Agatha show, which, as we pointed out, really should have been called Agatha all along.
Indeed.
It's a missed opportunity.
And I'm hearing that the Heartstopper actor may be playing, like, there is online speculation, which is our favorite kind of speculation, that he might be playing Wiccan from Marvel Comics, but we'll see when we get there.
Okay, cool.
They have said it's going to be a queer character.
Okay. Oh, very cool. So speaking of Heartstopper, we've got to talk about something that happened earlier this week with Kit Connor, who was one of the stars of the show, who felt like he was forced to come out as bisexual on Twitter and Instagram, I want to say. Anyway, social media in general. And I don't know the whole story behind why it is that he had to do that. Can you fill me in a little bit?
Okay. So the kids have decided that there's a thing called queer baiting, which is basically like playing LGBTQ roles and being vague about your personal life in a way that will like win you queer fans without you having to say, oh, but actually in real life, I'm straight. And that's a very lot of things to unpack, and I don't feel like getting into it right now. But basically, the presumption was because he did not, feel forthcoming about talking about his sex life, because again, he's 18, talking about his sexual orientation, talking about his personal life, all of that stuff. All these accusations were coming out. You're queer baiting us, and how dare you play this role, and so finally he did. And it's like, and good on him for being like, happy now? You have forced an 18-year-old out of the closet. And it's like, look, a lot of 18-year-olds are still figuring their stuff out, and they certainly aren't ready to put out a press release about it.
No.
And that's not a crime. They should be allowed that time and space to figure out to figure themselves out and to figure out how they want to share that with the world. And I think sadly he was deprived of that because of some real, misplaced righteousness on the internet.
And the cruel irony of this is that the whole point of Heartstopper was figuring out who you are on your own terms in your own time.
Yes.
Right?
And did anyone learn that lesson?
No. They just enjoyed seeing two cute boys kissing. And then Jennifer Lawrence talked to our friend Kyle Buchanan for a big New York Times piece. And Kyle broke news. And that is that she is not going to play Elizabeth Holmes after all. Now that I have a cold, I feel like my Elizabeth Holmes voice is even better than usual.
And that's why she's like, I heard Christy, and I was like, I can't even touch that.
So Amanda Seyfried already having played this role in The Dropout, winning an Emmy for it. She was perfect. And Jennifer Lawrence is like, I can't top that, and I'm not going to try. And I thought that was so classy of her and wise.
I wish more projects got their plugs pulled for reasons that were that obvious,
Yeah. So that was among the many revelations in Kyle's really, really good New York Times piece. And so we can link to that down below for your enjoyment. Are you watching, or did you watch, God forbid, on Hulu?
I haven't yet. Should I? Is it juicy?
You know what? It's actually kind of boring. Huh. And the dude at the center of it, the pool boy, who was, this big part of the Jerry Falwell and Becky with an I in their marriage.
Jerry Falwell Jr.
I'm sorry, Jerry Falwell Jr. I should be more specific. That's very important. So He's kind of like a big doughy lump of nothing. Like he's blandly handsome, or he was when he was 20, and they found him and preyed upon him at the pool at the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami. And there's a lot of reenactments of gross things you don't want to see.
Hey,
and
don't kink shame the Falwells, Christy.
I know. We all have needs. I've been married for a long time. You know, we all have needs, and they evolve over the course of a marriage.
Blandly handsome turns some people's cranks. What can I tell you?
I guess. And so it's actually not that juicy. It's disappointing.
I know. I think it seems like you've got the raw materials there for either like an interesting documentary or a really fun satire. But yeah, that's disappointing to hear.
I think once you get over like gawking at the grossness of it all, it's like there's not much left to it. And then some happy news. Miss Argentina and Miss Puerto Rico 2020 are in love and got married.
That's the movie I want to see.
Right. Mariana Varela from Argentina and Fabiola Valentin from Puerto Rico were both pageant queens in 2020, and they have been together ever since, and they got married and posted pictures of their bliss. And so good for them.
And apparently a trans entrepreneur in Thailand bought the Miss Universe pageant. So, you know, I love, look, I have watched so many beauty pageants in rooms full of gay men that I think we should just go full queer on all of this stuff. I'm for it.